Bangladesh is deeply concerned at the escalation of violence and the immense suffering of innocent civilians in Gaza. Since the beginning of this mindless massacre, more than 58,000 Palestinians have been killed, mostly women and children. Israel has been using forced starvation and displacement to continue ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people by design. Much of the territory now lies devastated with complete destruction of infrastructure to sustain life. We strongly condemn this genocidal killing and settler violence in the occupied West Bank, defying the repeated appeals by the international community. We also strongly oppose Israel's plan to drive the starved and thirsty Gazans to the so-called humanitarian city, who is the former Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Ehud Olmert, condemned as nothing but a concentration camp. We also call for strengthening UNRWA to ensure unimpeded delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza. The international community must implement the order of the ICJ to take all necessary measures to prevent genocide in Gaza. Mr. President, Bangladesh will continue its advocacy for establishing an independent, viable, and sovereign state of Palestine based on the pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. We firmly believe that this is the only sustainable solution to the crisis in the Middle East. We also urge the Security Council to take immediate actions to recommend the admission of Palestine as a full member of the United Nations. Mr. President, we endorse the Global Alliance for the Implementation of the Two-State Solution. We remain steadfast and unequivocal in our call on the global community to work towards a two-state solution of the Palestinian issue based on international law, ICJ's advisory opinion, United Nations resolutions, and the Palestinians' aspiration for peace, dignity, and justice. To this end, we condemn Israeli Parliament's decision to oppose the creation of an independent state of Palestine. We also welcome the convening of the high-level international conference next week under the co-chairmanship of Saudi Arabia and France, aiming to accelerate the process of implementing the two-state solution. Mr. President, Bangladesh strongly believes that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of any state is inviolable. We reiterate our condemnation of the recent unprovoked bombings in Syria, Iran, and Lebanon. Israel must also end its illegal occupation in Syria and Lebanon. Bangladesh reiterates its long-standing position in favor of peaceful resolution of conflicts through dialogue and diplomacy. In conclusion, Mr. President, Bangladesh calls upon the United Nations and the international community to engage proactively in efforts to de-escalate the tension and promote peace and stability in the Middle East. We once again, in this Council, urge all to stop all forms of armed hostilities and violent repressions against the Palestinian people and the other nations. Otherwise, the future generation will never forgive us. Let us reaffirm our commitment to peace and say never again to violence, war, and genocide. I thank you all.
Thank you, Excellency Mr. Chowdhury, for the statement. There are still a number of speakers remaining on my list for this meeting. I intend, with the concurrence of members of the Council, to suspend